Nick Fuentes and Jake Shields walk into Turning Point's People's Convention and are almost immediately removed by security. So I don't know the reason. I don't think they know the reason. The guy who walks up to Fuentes and Shields says he knows why he's banned from here. And Nick then responds, because of Israel. And I think this is I think this is a big problem for Turning Point in not, I don't know if they've issued a formal statement or what, but I do think there should be a reason why Nick Fuentes and Jake Shields, I believe primarily Nick Fuentes, was removed from their conference. This video, it's just from today, earlier at the Turning Point. I think it was in Detroit. They're doing a great event. Happy to see it. But for what reason was Nick turned away?
Isn't he like a leftist socialist kind of guy? Nick?
Fuentes?
Yeah.
National socialist.
Yeah, he's like a socialist, isn't he?
He's a national socialist.
Is he a socialist?
I think that's like a conference for like right-wing people. So it makes sense.
If you listen to
they have leftist journalists that are allowed in there. And if they don't want Nick there, that's absolutely fine. But if they don't give a reason, then Nick decides what the reason is. And Nick's decided the reason was his criticism of Israel.
Well, that's Nick's reason for everything. He stubs his toe. He's like, Israel did.
And great. And maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But Turning Point should say, here's the reason why we don't allow Nick Fuentes in. And maybe they did. I don't know. I just didn't see it.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that he does believe in like a big, strong central government. So he may be conservative, but it's a conservative government with big, strong. So it's not like
if his
typical.
people wanted to win, he would do it. Tim said, you do type 2 colonization. You go, you take your people, you take over a place. That's what Free Staters do in New Hampshire. We've moved in. You take over, you colonize it. If Christians want a nation, they should take over their best state. They should target it. They should all move there, and they should enact their government.
Well, a lot of people have pointed out Iceland is an overwhelmingly white country with eugenics policy. And so...
And rare earth minerals, I think.
Yeah.
Geothermal
and the geothermals actually increase our standard of living dramatically. And so there have been white nationalists who have proposed people need to... Their proposal is that if you're a white nationalist, keep it to yourself, emigrate to Iceland however you can, bring as many people as you can, and take over the small nation. And here's the reality. They don't want to do that. Just like socialists, they're like, nah, I want your stuff.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to go and make my own thing. I want your thing.
There's
like, okay, well, dude.
And I think that's a big problem with all this stuff is it's very difficult to have a Fuentes-like narrative that doesn't also involve everyone on your side being a retard. Like your conspiracy theory is that everyone on my side is constantly tricked, and it's not possible for them to not get tricked. Like, I just don't get it. You know,
it has to be.
Like I'm very mad that I can't do math. You know, like their complaints are just all involve them being dumb. So it's like you want to build a society where it's only for dumb people. I just, you know.
But like you're saying the argument that they're having is that Israel has outsmarted them at every step of the way.
I mean, the Jews are so smart that I can't even convince my fellow white Christians who still make up the predominant portion of America to just not get tricked by Jews. Christians are his implicit in his theory is that Christians are too dumb to not get tricked by Jews. Therefore, Jews can't be near Christians.
That's literally what he's saying. That's right.
They're
like,
sure. That is what he believes.
Because it starts as a cheat code because, you know, they believe that white people are a whole lot smarter than non-white people. That's what they believe ideologically.
Well, not necessarily. They actually just believe in racial, heavy correlation between race and IQ, and they do believe that there are some non-whites that are smarter than.
Yes, on an individual basis, but not on a group basis.
No, they actually will outright say Asians are smarter than them.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair, but they won't say that about blacks, or they won't say that about Hispanics.
Right.
Well, because they're not.
So the reason. So how do you then explain why you are politically losing to people who you regard as inferior? Jews are who you then bring in as the explanation.
Real quick, this is why I refer to Fuentes and them as it's a form of wokeness that they're concerned about Jewish privilege. Mm-hmm. Right. The arguments that they make about Israel. You can take all of the arguments they make about Jews and replace the word Jew with white person, and you get the woke, the woke ideology.
He sounds like Malma talking about the Boer in South Africa. Is actually how you seriously like they sound. If you listen to some of those South African people talking about like why are the Boer so good at running the power plants, you know they sound exactly like Nick Fuentes complaining about journalists.
The joke I used to make is take any one of these arguments and replace. You have Jews, you have white people, you have the 1%, you have the bankers. You can figure out which faction you belong to by ascribing all of the conspiracy theories to a select group of people.